Hey Lydia. Hey, this is Julian, Mackenzie's father, doing some video review. I'm gonna go through some of your clips here. Some of them will make comments and be like, "Hey, great step right there, right? Good connection there. Okay, you made a pass, and it looks like you even were pointing like play the ball that way," which it did. So you took leadership, you drove the field, you connected the pass. Good job. And then we'll look for other places where there's like other moments like this one, right? So what's going on here? Okay, you're stepping here, but your back line's a little confused. Did you see the confusion? If you said like who's supposed to step, who's dropping back, right? That's the confusion right there. It gave her time. Great step, good defensive abilities, right? Just being organized to be able to communicate with Maya, to be able to say, I go, you stay, um, or just having a plan there before. Okay, same kind of thing here. Right now, it's like it's going over the top. We're figuring it out, but a little bit of like communication goes a long way in those situations. And since you're the leader back there, for you to kind of dictate where you want that ball to go would just be a nice thing to avoid any confusion with players in the back, to avoid those simple miscommunication mistakes. Okay, let's look at this decision making right here. You're under pressure here, player on your back, you decide to go out, you open up that field, and they play out. Good passing in the middle. Okay, now what you're going to learn from this situation is, like, you see this winger here? This is going to be familiar for you. So there's this winger here who gets caught trying to do two jobs because that's their striker, and their striker is 2v1 versus you in a 4-3-3. So when she goes there, right, you're kind of just playing, how do you put it, like monkey in the middle with them, and notice that everyone else except for the forward should be 2v1. So like a winger that can beat a player is going to be important and get in behind. Way to be calm there. Okay, so the ball was bouncing there. That wasn't your fault, but being able to play like clean passes on the ground, right? With like, hey, turn to your left, or drive space on the right side, or giving some information is what helps your teammates become successful. And I think that's a big part of being a center back, is kind of like not just being a defender, but being like a quarterback, kind of like coach from the back, like hey, midfielder, support the play, right? Because she's going to probably lose it because it's 1-on-4 right here. And it's, I mean, that's really challenging for one player to run at full speed and be able to beat, you know, the number is 3 blues versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blacks, right? And so in those scenarios, right, you want to be like, hey, midfielder, stay with them, right, so that she can turn back, because that person's always going to go support that play. She's always going to want to be behind here, right? And if you turn back here, she's always going to go press the ball, and she's always going to probably press the ball and try to watch coverage here. So if she can turn around and play a midfielder, but the problem was, look at the distance between the midfielder, right? And if this player goes, she's going to cut that off, right? If this player goes here, right, now she's probably going to be pinned over here, and then you can turn and play to the open player here. But it matters of distance. So since she got far away, we lost that opportunity to be able to play back and build players in. But that's fine. We're, in their half now. And one of the things that I think your team has gotten away from is the ability to press right here. Like, okay, so the ball is here, right? Okay, we win it back. Now, what do you need to do in this scenario? You need to be able to keep that ball. And so, like, getting people in the right places is usually the solution, because, like, they got their wall. Do you see their wall? It's like, here's phase 1 of their wall, right? Phase 2 of their wall, right? And then phase 3 is back here, right? So we're playing into their pressure. So how do you get out of these scenarios, right? First, you got to play your step 1, right? Then she's going to have this player running in here, and then probably this player here. So from there, right, when she receives it here, she's probably going to have that ball there if we would have provided her a good pass, right? And then it's just one across here, right? Usually the winger wants to come inside, and that's kind of how you scored 90% of your goals last year, is like you'd build from this side and then you'd swing it into the middle here, and then we'd try to go one-on-one or like get, the end of crosses, and usually it's like the swing across here, boom, boom, that allows like that space for like that outside left winger, or sometimes you can have a 10 that sits in like a little farther here, right? In this scenario, one thing you can do too, if you see the ball here, is you can have this player run across. What do you think that does to that defender here? If I think that's Annika runs across here, what's that going to open up in the middle? Right? Because she doesn't want to block this path. Because if she blocks that path, the ball can never get here. So if she can run in front, right, now she could run inside and shoot, or she could make that pass here. That's a beautiful first touch. Incredibly calm under pressure. The next step to that would be like, notice how you're not talking to her, right? You want to be like, what's going on. You got a brilliant mind on you, and you see it, right? Now the challenge is like, what do you want her to do there? Right? If you're controlling her, what would you have said? Because there's like a pattern in soccer. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's another option besides putting it in the air there for a 50-50? Option, you could have played that ball through here, right? Here's their first line. Their second line is just one person, right? So the first line is 1, 2, 3, 4 players pressing, then this one center mid and this one defensive mid. So really all you had to do was communicate, right? So if you would have seen the options in the space right here, they close quickly. You would want to just say her name first, Annika, right? Annika wakes her up. Annika saying her name tells her to look around the field and the space. It's like activating her. It's like saying, hey, pay attention. All right, I'm going to play it to you. You should check her around because just that ball there, right? Now the difference is rather than this happening here, it's so chaotic, right? You want to make this game smooth and simple and like easy. And you do that by keeping that on the ground, right? So you go in here, right? And then she dribbles here. And then she's going to do what? Right? If you dribble here, if Annika dribbles here, what's that going to force this person to do? It's cause and effect. So then she runs here, right? And then you'll see like if you went here and Annika had the ball here, that takes this player in here and that provides just a give and go off the forward there. And then you pick off that forward and now you're dribbling with 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1, 2, right? And that's a very high percentage chance that you'd make a goal there. All right. Hope I didn't bore you and that this provided some sort of entertainment, but also learning value. Again, the best part is like how calm you are. Like this is easy for you, right? So now we have to challenge you in different aspects of the game because, I mean, cool, all right? So like more, so you got the ball here, right? So yeah, you could play that across the goal, right? Another option, these are just options, right? Would be what? Let's pretend that it was high pressure right here and there's tight here. How could you have broken this? So like look at their line. Let's take a look at their whole line. Okay, so they got this kind of like block going right here. So where is the open player? Okay. Who is their deep player that will not press up high? It's this girl right here. So let's just imagine here. You took your touch and you drove into this pocket right here. Will she step to you? Probably, right? And then you have an option, right? Do you go through here into her where this massive gap opens up? Or do you come here, right? And you play out here. Okay, so let's say you go out here. Just by dribbling forward a little, right? Boom. Right? You take a touch forward. Okay. If they go here, right? Maybe that allows you to come here. If you go forward here and she shifts over there, maybe you can come out here. If you go forward here, right, and they close but she stays, right, maybe you can bounce off Ratu into your 8 or 6 or whatever you would call her. All right. I'll leave it at like that. This is more just like food for thought right now. And as we do this more often, it might and hopefully will expand your mind to other options, whether it's right or wrong, just exploring the decisions you made and the cause and effect of those decisions and what the other team was trying to influence you to do and how you break down that system based on cause and effect of like, if you do this, they'll do this. If you drive the middle here, that might change things, right? And then your foot skills and your confidence and your leadership and all these different aspects of the game are tools that help you, win in these individual moments. So keep it up. I'd work on communication and activating players with your voice and being a quarterback, like visionary coach. When your team or your midfield has the ball, telling players where they need to be, because it's the center defenders usually that have the most energy, hopefully, because you don't have to run up and down the field over and over. And so you get to use, like, when you get tired, you kind of lose that brain stamina. And so this is a good way for you to stay engaged in the game, telling people what to do, and that helps you become a smarter and more influential player. And then using your foot skills and your ability on the ball, like in that first clip, to break these lines, I think is a very great asset that you have. Pound for pound, player for player, I think that you are a better player than a lot of these forwards that you go against, and the forwards are probably pretty lazy, where if you were to drive these pockets of space, right, they're not going to hustle, right? And the midfielder are going to just kind of like step forward at you and hope that you mess up. And so when that happens, the rest of the game opens up for everyone else. I'll keep it up. Hopefully that helped.